Hello everyone, good morning and welcome back to Sports Today. It's the start of a new week, it's almost the start of a new month really. But you know what it is like in the world of sport, whilst we were catching up on some all-important sleep, the world of sport wasn't getting any. In fact, there was so much action going on, which is why we join you here every single morning to talk about what exactly it is has been happening in the world of sport. And believe me when I say we have lots to catch up on, so let's just get straight down to it. First off, starting off with cricket, you remember that Virat Kohli in an interview with RCB's podcast had said that, he was perceived as a failed captain due to having not won an ICC tournament, despite the fact that his actual record isn't too bad. Now, a lot of people, in fact, we on this channel ourselves had discussed that counting Kohli as a failed captain would perhaps be a bit much, but one former England star in the form of Monty Panesar has now actually responded to that news via a tweet. He quote-tweeted a news article with Kohli's quotes and he said the following. He said that, "Unfortunately, that's the pressure of being captain of India. No one remembers second or third place teams. We always remember winners of ICC tournaments." Now, this can be perceived as a little bit of a dig at Kohli, saying that, look, unfortunately, despite having vast resources at your disposal, despite having generational talents, you couldn't actually win a trophy. But it's also worth noting that what Monty says isn't exactly wrong, especially in a country like India that during the MS Dhoni era had become accustomed to winning ICC tournaments. It became a norm and India expected to be regularly challenging for trophies in any given format. And the fact that under Kohli's captaincy, you didn't actually end up getting even a single ICC trophy is something that unfortunately will be a bit of a black mark on the Kohli captaincy. However, that being said, and this is just my personal opinion, I don't think you can see Kohli as a failed captain in that regard. But what Monty says isn't wrong either. The reality of cricket in India is that you'll remember mostly the winners. Sticking to cricket news and talking about the fact that domestic cricket news rather, we have the squad for the Irani Cup has in fact been announced, and Mayank Agarwal, who was in fact the highest run getter for the season, is going to be leading the team against, of course, the defending Ranji Trophy champions. And what is interesting to note is that the BCCI in announcing the squad ended up also mentioning the fact that Sarfarz Khan, who wasn't named in the squad, misses out due to him having a hairline fracture on his little finger. So obviously there were many people who would have doubtless wondered why exactly it is that Sarfarz was not in the squad, because he was probably one of the best performers in recent times in the domestic cricket circuit, but he misses out due to a very minor injury. So a bit unfortunate for him, because it would have been a good stage for him to go out and get some runs. But Mayank himself is also a player who would be targeting a comeback to the Indian team. Remember, hasn't played a test match since early 2022, has generally been seen as someone who's not going to have that much of a future, but has been scoring plenty of runs domestically. So who knows? Let's see what happens when the Irani Cup gets underway. Sticking again to cricket news, and former India head coach Ravi Shastri actually revealed some rather interesting tidbits about what it is that him and his coaching staff had to do to get Ravindra Jadeja in the kind of form that he is now. So Shastri said that we had a conversation, it was around 2019 when we were in England. We had a conversation with Jadeja saying that, look, you know it for a fact you're a very talented player. You know it, we know it. Why don't you start working and actually start playing like with the kind of talent you have, with the belief that you have that kind of talent. We shouldn't be needing to telling you that you have that talent, especially with the bat. We know what it is you can do with the ball. With the bat, you can be a game changer for India. And after that, it is worth noting that actually, Jadeja's form with the bat in the last few years has seen a massive upturn to the point where India have been comfortable enough to even promote him to bat at number 4 in white ball cricket. And Shastri further added that with Jadeja bowling the way he does, and then also having the added advantage of him being a batsman, it really put a major conundrum on him and his coaching staff when it came to overseas conditions, because you're only playing one spinner and normally you'd pick R. Ashwin, but then you have someone like Jadeja who also offers a lot with the ball but can also offer so much with the bat. He's saying, my God, what a headache it was. And truth be told, it's again easy to understand why that is the case. But Shastri is in many ways trying to say that, look, we were the ones who actually started convincing Jadeja to start batting with the kind of talent he has, because before that he was tending to underwhelm just a little bit. Switching our focus now from the world of cricket to the world of football, and believe you me, there's plenty of news to catch up on, so let's just quickly get through it. Manchester United fans rejoice. Your 6-year trophy drought is over at last. Manchester United won the Carabao Cup, defeating Newcastle United 2-0 in regulation time. easy win for Manchester United, you'd think, but Newcastle definitely had no reason to be embarrassed. They put in a very decent performance, and it's only a matter of time, given the kind of ownership that they have now and how much it is that they've invested, that they too will be competing for trophies on the regular very, very soon. For Manchester United and for new manager Erik ten Hag, though, it's vindication at the fact that his methods are actually working out well, and that whatever it is that he's trying to instill in the club in terms of the football changes do seem to be working out. Now, of course, the next focus will be to end the season strongly and on high. Sticking again with more football news, and Lionel Messi and Kylian Mbappe combined sublimely to ensure that Paris Saint-Germain could actually beat Olympique Marseille 3-0. Easy enough win, you would say. And what was very noteworthy was the fact that both Messi and Mbappe not just ended up on the score sheet, but they were also assisting each other, and both of them actually ended up breaking some very noteworthy records. Lionel Messi ended up getting his 700th club goal. Massive feat, and we'll have a video on that soon enough. And also Kylian Mbappe, because Kylian Mbappe is now the record highest goal scorer for Paris Saint-Germain, and he's done that despite having played 200 or so games less than the person he currently sits level with, Edinson Cavani. Also worth noting, Cavani would 99.99% of the time be playing as an out-and-out striker, so the fact that Mbappe, who functions either on the left, right, or sometimes centrally, could equal that record just speaks to how monumental and generational a talent he really is. Speaking of, Messi and his ex-club Barcelona had very little reason to celebrate, because in their match against Almeria, which if they had won, they'd have gone 11 points clear off the table, they ended up losing 1-0. So what actually happens here is that Real Madrid, despite them actually drawing in their Madrid derby, have in fact gained a little bit on Barcelona going into the next week's round of fixtures. Of course, let's not kid ourselves, Barcelona still very much favourites to win La Liga, but it was one of those, chances that Barca had to put even more daylight between them and their fiercest rivals. Couldn't take it, very unfortunately. Sticking to the world of football, and you have a certain lion who made his comeback after a long time. This man right here is Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Now, you remember that Ibra, as he's fondly known, had in fact gotten surgery done on his knees right after AC Milan had sealed the Serie A title, their first one in over 11 years. Last season, he ended up getting surgery on his knees. He's had to take a long time to actually get rehab, get into match fitness, and he finally made his comeback yesterday. Not just that, he also ended up breaking a little bit of a record, because he's now the oldest player to have represented AC Milan during an era when 3 points were awarded for a league win. So Zlatan, even just by playing, continues to break records. Switching our focus now from the world of football to tennis. Cameron Norrie, this man ended up causing quite an upset in the Rio Open final, because he ended up coming back from a set down to beat, of all people, Carlos Alcaraz. Now, Alcaraz had taken the first set, but Norrie, who is of course currently the British world number one, fought back hard, won the next two sets, and sealed his first title, his second title only on clay, and first of the year. Naturally, if you're a British fan, you'd be hoping that the Southpaw can build on this form going into the clay court season, because Rio Open, as you know, is also being played on clay courts. And last but not least, we have a bit of an update for you guys regarding a Formula 1 story that we had done yesterday on Sunday. We had said that there could be a chance that Sebastian Vettel could make a comeback to Formula 1 and drive for the Aston Martin F1 team in the opening weekend of the 2023 season at Bahrain, because, well, there were some hints from, of course, team principal Mike Crack, but that's not going to be the case, because this man right here, Felipe Drugovich, who is of course their first reserve driver and took part in preseason testing for them in the absence of usual driver Lance Stroll, has been confirmed by the team as their plan B to replace Stroll, or in case Stroll is unable to make it in time or recover fully in time for the opening race. Now, putting aside the romanticism of a Vettel return, Drugovich getting the seat only makes sense. Don't forget, 2022 he won the Formula 2 World Championship, and in the absence of Lance Stroll, he's actually been the one who's tested the car the most, because of course all those testing hours would have normally gone to Stroll, but they ended up going to Drugovich, who shared testing duties with Fernando Alonso. So he's familiar with how the car works. He's put in a lot of work in the simulators as well. So him getting the nod to be that first standby only really makes sense. And that's it for us from this edition of the Morning Updates. Thank you all so much for joining us. Again, if you enjoy the work that we put in over here, please like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, tap the bell icon, leave us a comment, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Last but not least, download the AajTak app as well. You'll get all of this news right at the tip of your finger. So what are you waiting for? Thank you all once again for joining us. If you're on the channel already, please go ahead and check out some other videos we may have done. For now though, from my side, goodbye.